still learning what our YouTube audience is, and that hasn't been determined yet. And when we start putting these like learning videos out about what you've learned in the last 4 years, coming up 5, that's what people are going to interact with, because yes, there's a nature element and there's like a really excitement around what we're doing environmentally, but also I think there's just the understanding of your position and how you can get to that.
The December vlog got 241 views in a month. The books has got 288 in 2 days.
But that's because it's more general that anyone could learn from.
I think that's what that channel is. That's the general transfer. Yeah, agreed.
With vlog, you have to watch and then work out how that's going to benefit you.
Agreed. That's why I think it's
But I think they'll
distinctly
find
different.
us through that and then can go on to watch the vlog as well. By the way, if you haven't yet, please go back onto our YouTube channel to look at the 13 books you must read in 2026 to become a successful leader. Subscribe here. It's 11:43 now. Plan hopefully is to get to your next location for about 12:10. Gives you 20 minutes just so that you're not running late, because you're off to have lunch.
Oh, with Benny and Adam.
With Benny and Adam. Fantastic.
This is the first chapter of my career where I've had a board that genuinely all felt like mentors, which are people who have achieved incredible things in different chapters of their life, who I can ring up and ask for advice on every conceivable situation because they've seen them all. Because in any form of relationship, you're compromising. So with a board, you don't get the freedom as you would with an individual founder, but boy, do you exchange it for guidance and support and advice and capital and
it's that
all
experience,
those things.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're 10 minutes out. Obviously you'll head to lunch with Benny and Adam. Super brilliant, super exciting. Me and Penny are going to go into a bit of a marketing meeting with ourselves, talking about what's coming up in the next few weeks and getting some content pushed through. And then we'll meet you outside of your lunch location to head to the Shard.
So we've got a really exciting debate today. On one side, we've got a group of people who are going to argue the motion that carbon markets are dead. And then on the right, we've got the optimists who say, no, no, no. These are just, these shakedowns are going to be very useful in the long run. And the market is well on its way to fulfilling its great promise of rewilding the world.
Just in the UK alone, we need to plant 1 million hectares of trees, and we need to restore 1 million hectares of peat bogs in order to hit net zero by 2050. The trees need to go in the ground now.
If you want to find a way of solving the climate change problem and the biodiversity problem within our economy, you have to find an intervention that puts a value on the work done.
The demand is there if we can deliver a product that deserves it. This isn't a funeral, it's natural evolution. We messed up things in the past, we've improved, we've learned, we've moved on. We've only just started in this market. Why do we have the arrogance of thinking we'll get it right straight away? We are learning things every day. Is it a death? No, it's natural selection, it's evolution, we're improving, and the carbon markets have never looked better.
Thanks very much to our panelists.
The people in that room built the foundation of this very industry. The event wouldn't have been possible a couple of years ago because the industry didn't exist. You know, you had James Cameron, who literally came up with the climate protocol and the foundations of what we're doing. Luke Baldwin, who's just signed one of the deals that makes natural capital such a feature on a balance sheet. It's incredible. And what Foresight are doing, they've learned so many lessons, and the fact they're sharing them and bringing people together so that we can collectively build an incredible new natural capital economy. I've never been more excited. Always awesome to see my friend Ben, one of the first people to bring together the financial and the nature world, the perfect person to chair that panel. Day one in London, almost done.
In a world whereby you need to explain that nature is critical national infrastructure, having a governmental report saying it's a national security issue is an excellent way of articulating that point.
Yeah.
So at 10:30 last night, I wrote a response piece to said article, which Matt and Steve might be looking at. So the press release by gov.uk yesterday was Nature Security Assessment on Global Biodiversity Loss and Ecosystem Collapse. And it opens with the strategic assessment and explores how global biodiversity loss and the collapse of critical ecosystems could affect UK's resilience, security and prosperity. Yeah. So it helps articulate the case that Rob Gardner, myself and others have been advocating, and it's why on Monday of this week, we literally formed the Natural Infrastructure Coalition. So for the first time, we brought together all the CEOs in the sector to figure out how we share the role we can collectively play for UK infrastructure and security and the adaptability and improving way of life for everyone in the UK as a result of nature and natural processes.
Yeah.
So incredibly timely.
Yeah.
So I don't get nervous about speaking and things or talking. And intentionally, I wanted to go last in terms of speaking because it was a debate and very time bound. So they wanted to speak for a max of like 60 seconds or something. So I was the last person to speak, and I was like, ooh. And when I knew it was coming, I was like, suddenly felt my heart like rate rising slightly, and I was like, this is weird. Because I was just sat there enjoying it because I could see the audience. I was taking little clips on my glasses so you guys could play with it. People were talking. It was fun. I was like, not nervous. Why is my heart rate rising slightly? I was a bit like, this is bizarre. But I was aware of it, and I was like, this is strange. And I have no idea why. It can only be because I wanted to make sure that I nailed whatever my comment was in like 3 words.
Yeah.
I think I was trying to debate because we talked about this isn't a funeral, it's a resurrection. And I like that line. I was trying to read the room like, is that the right line? You want to say something that's ever so slightly provocative but not offensive to anyone. So I was like, this doesn't look like a funeral, it looks like a coming of age party.
Yeah.
This morning, what I want us to get to is a shared understanding of all the IP that we have and what it actually does. So the first thing is being able to assess the natural capital potential of any area of land.
There's a workflow to this in that the first thing we need to do is work out what our investment thesis is, which I think we broadly have, it's a triangle. And then we need to say, right, what we're going to actually look for. And so if we're going to natural capital, we're not looking for woodland code or peatland code, we're looking at what are the standards in Europe we're looking for, which is probably going to be a mix of VERA, maybe some domestic ones, but we pick our standard from enhanced rock weathering to biochar to peatland to soil to trees to IFM. And then we say, these are the codes and standards, this is how you generate credits, and then we've got a set of attributes. And then we can start building search criteria around those attributes.
Yeah.
I think Elena, legal restrictions, land use costs, and George will be able to rule out a lot of countries. So almost, what's the fastest way to rule out looking at something? I'm going to ask you for the world. You're going to say, I can only give you a quarter of the world. And I'm going to say, fantastic, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Obviously nothing leaves the room, right? So.
It's nice to be in that environment. Because usually George, you can't say all those things. And most of them I do anyway. But, yeah.
Make it official.
If I ask you what your caricature of the environment sector is, what's the person you imagine? It's a retiree planting a tree on a Sunday.
Basically,
Or a badly drawn child's picture of a badger.
This is why I always say, people, you say natural capital people, and people think you're just like a hippie.
Or a charity.
Pro bono.
It was like, so you go back to renewables when I was doing it. Everybody, and when I tried to persuade my law firm to focus, I said, I'd been to New York, this big event, I said, there's this thing called climate change, and we need to focus on it. No, you need to carry on doing what you do. Everyone thought we were sandal-wearing hippies. It was exactly the same. Maybe because of the world that I move in, I think natural capital is understood to be something that needs, at the very least, to be on sophisticated investors' radar, and that there is money and then there are hills. That is absolutely the impression that we're getting.
I mean, that's my thesis and our entire existence, so I hope you're right, and I believe you are as well. This is how we think about natural capital.
Okay.
So we don't do commercial forestry. We would say to you, go see Foresight, go see Gresham. They're better at that than we are. We'd have a right to win. We have very small amounts of forestry on our estates that we've acquired, but we don't do commercial forestry. We don't drop trees. In the future, might we? Maybe. But the thing is, we buy land at a much lower price than they do because it's not suitable for commercial forestry.
Are they just monetising that through carbon credits?
And commercial forestry still. So they'll cut some timber, they'll sell credits. If credits are worth more than trees, they'll balance it out, they'll do that. Foresight at the moment, their model is...
So can I just ask, are those credits that they're selling on the regulated or voluntary market?
Voluntary.
Okay.
I wish I had a whiteboard pen because I put this stuff on a whiteboard. So we're going to come back to VCM versus EU ETS.
Yeah.
These are going to do this. I now chair a group of every single chief exec in this sector. We literally met for the first time this week. We are writing to government to say, we currently employ this many thousand people, we've got this much land under management, we have a value to this, to you. All you need to do is merge these two markets. And it's going to do a heck of a lot of work for you. So that will happen in the next 2-ish years. What it will do is it'll drag up the entire voluntary carbon market. Okay.
You've got stuff that's happened. It's the same with all sustainability regulation. You've got stuff that's happening because it has to happen, but the bigger opportunity really is the stuff that's going to happen because investors are just not going to risk their reputation investing in something that is having an adverse impact.
Thank you. Appreciate you making the time.
That was fascinating. Look forward to speaking again, I hope, as well. Lovely to meet you as well, Penny. Thank you very much.
I'll join you in a minute.
Oh, fantastic. Cheers.
Thank you. We love the time.
No, pleasure. No,
I really
it's been
appreciate
great.
it. What I love about this is, he called out the problem, went fuck it, I'm fed up moaning about it, I'm going to fix it.
The other side of this is we've done a great job hiring people in OC, on the estates and everything else. I think we also need to back ourselves through training people.
We're scaling, we're expanding, we're big, this is amazing, we're led by data.
So that's the sequencing next time. Who's got an app? Who's got an ass? Who is responsible for the delivery of it? And then it's provided back.
Don't worry about the logistical concerns. Come to us with, we want to do this. This is what we love about doing it. This is what we want to do.
Okay, should we get one final single clap? Ready, set. Awesome work, guys. Thank you. It's nearly 10 o'clock on Thursday night. I left home just before 6 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Team meetings in the last 3 days. You've been to most of them with us. Thank you. The last 3 days, and then in fact 2026 in general so far, have felt incredible. The momentum behind the natural capital space is like nothing we've ever experienced before. The demand for us to be places and talk about our work and the sector in general is genuinely humbling. It's also really difficult because the thing that's creating that demand and the context for that is pretty terrible. So while we're in London, the report dropped that nature degradation and the destruction of ecosystems across the planet has got to such a point that it presents a national security risk. That's both insane and obvious in equal measures, and it affected lots of us. Like, members of the team were genuinely moved by that in terms of what it means for them and their family and their children in the future. And then you have to turn that on its head and use it as fuel and momentum to push us further and harder and faster. Because that's why we do this. We want to prove that natural capital and critical natural infrastructure is the next massive and most important asset class on the planet. So a mix of emotions this week. Super proud of the team, super excited about the sector and the momentum that we're building, super grateful for other people like Richard and Rob and James and Benedict and Craig and Ben and Luke and the people on the stage at Foresight and the incredible people that we've spoke to across the sector, and Dimple Patel and Kat and the great things happening at Nature Metrics, and Natalia and the stuff that's happening around insurance. I feel hugely privileged to be part of that sector and group of people who are trying to do so much for people, for nature and the planet. What an incredible week. You've been with us every step of the way. Thank you. That's what we intend to show you in Inside Oxygen, the realities of what it's like to do what we're doing right now. Also, I want to shout out our incredible team and the hard work they're doing, especially the marketing team. So please like, please subscribe. It takes seconds and it helps them so much. They want to grow this channel, spread our message, help others in the sector as well. So yeah, another week
inside Oxygen Conservation. Until next time, bye.